Hey everyone, welcome to Legendary Throwbacks. I'm Ryan, and here we celebrate the products, movies, pop culture, and unforgettable icons that defined a generation. Today we've got a very special guest. You know him as the ultimate lifeguard from Baywatch, but he's so much more than that. He's an icon, a legend, and let's just say he might have had a unique relationship with a certain car from the 80s. Here's my interview with the one and only Mitch Buchannon as he shares untold stories, wild moments, and maybe a few secrets from his legendary career. Let's dive in. All right, Mitch. Every legendary hero like you has an origin story, but you didn't always plan to be a lifeguard, did you? I heard you were on a very different path originally.
Yeah, that's true. I was going to be a dog groomer. Specifically, I wanted to specialize in grooming dachshunds. See, I've always had a thing for chest hair. And dachshunds, especially the long-haired ones, they've got this beautiful elongated chest. I thought, what better way to spend my life than grooming majestic Wiener dogs?
And that's where your dog Wiener comes into the story, right?
Yeah, Wiener's my pride and joy. A big, sturdy, short-haired dachshund. Even though his coat's not long, he's got this sleek chest that I used to primp and brush every day. I built a patio in my backyard, just for him, where I trained him to do these running long jumps off of it. I thought it would give him a hobby, you know?
Okay, I have to ask. A dachshund doing long jumps?
Yeah, it was a sight to see. He'd take off running, ears flying back, and leap off the edge of the deck like a champion. But one day, it hit me. Dachshunds have delicate spines, and I realized I was risking his health. It crushed me. That's when I decided to enter Wiener into a dock jumping competition instead. I figured it would be safer. The water would be much easier on his skeletal system, you know?
And how'd that first jump in the competition go?
At first, it went great. He got a running start and launched off the dock like a little furry torpedo. But then, we hit a snag. Turns out dachshunds aren't exactly known for their swimming skills. Non-existent, really. Wiener had hit the water and just sank. He had this panicked look on his face, paddling his 3-inch legs as hard as he could, but he was going down fast.
So what did you do, Mitch?
I jumped right in after him. I didn't even think. Just dove straight into the water. I grabbed him, held him up, and swam him back to shore. The second I felt Wiener's wet hair safe in my arms, something changed inside me. It was like this primal urge to save lives kicked in. I knew right then and there. This was my calling.
So saving Wiener from drowning was what set you on the path to becoming a lifeguard?
Exactly. That was the moment everything clicked. I thought, if I can save a dachshund from drowning, imagine how many human beings I could save. From that day forward, I dedicated my life to rescue work. The dog grooming dreams, they were gone. I'd found something bigger.
And you've been rescuing ever since?
That's right. Wiener still can't swim, by the way. But at least I didn't ruin his spine with those long jumps off the patio. Tack one up for me and Wiener. Dog and me one. Canine paralysis from the chest down, 0.
So Mitch, I heard about the hot air balloon rescue, and I just have to ask, why a hot air balloon? Boats, jet skis. I mean, there were probably easier ways to get out to those kids on the reef.
Well, yeah. But this wasn't just about saving the kids. See, our general manager, Cherish, she was kind of a big deal. And to be honest, I had a bit of a thing for her. I figured if I pulled off a heroic, one-of-a-kind rescue with a hot air balloon, it might impress her enough to ask me out. You know, big gestures. That's what they do in the movies, right?
And how'd that work out?
Not great. The whole landing went sideways. Let me share the impressionistic drawing that my life-following artist, as I call him, did of me, so you can get an idea of what it was like. He had followed me out with his canoe in order to capture the event with his illustrations. So beside the hindsight I had at the moment, seeing that it took me countless hours to reach them with the homemade balloon I had rigged, upon reaching them, the balloon got snagged on the coral, popped instantly, and boom, deflated right on top of the kids. Now, instead of being the hero, I'm tangled up with a giant flopping balloon, and these poor kids are crying, cut up, sunburned, and now suffocating under it.
Wow. So did the Coast Guard really have to come rescue you?
Yeah, choppers came, the whole nine, and they pulled us all out. By the time Cherish got word of what happened, let's just say she wasn't exactly swooning. No flowers, no thank you speech. Instead, she calls me into her office and reassigns me to YMCA pool duty for a month. No more beach patrol shifts. Said I needed to relearn the basics. Honestly, I think that punishment stung more than the coral cuts.
So no date with Cherish?
Nope. Just long, lonely shifts at the Y. Fishing out goggles and Band-Aids in the pool filters. I even found used condoms in the men's locker room at one point. I thought that was very interesting. It actually really made me question what I was really doing there.
So, Mitch, I heard you won a pretty unusual contest. Something about picking up millions of grains of sand with your butt cheeks. Can you explain what that was all about?
Yeah, that's the legendary sand grain contest. It started off as just a little beach game, but I figured, you know, if you're going to do something, you got to go all in. The rules were simple. See how many grains of sand you could pick up using only your butt cheeks. It wasn't easy. But once I set my mind to it, there was no stopping me.
Wait a second. So you actually trained for this? How do you even prepare for something like that? Are there like exercises for this kind of thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I worked on strength and precision. It's all about control, really. You got to start small. Grab a few grains at a time and then build your way up. I spent weeks practicing with wet sand because it sticks better. That really gave me the edge. By the time the contest rolled around, I could scoop up piles with almost surgical precision. It's about finding the perfect rhythm. You know? Squeeze, lift, release. Over and over.
And let me get this straight. How many grains of sand did you end up picking up? Because I heard it took 2 full days to count them all.
Yep. 690,723,924 grains. And yes, it took the judges 2 days to verify the count. But I won fair and square, and I still hold the record to this day. I even got a little trophy shaped like a sphincter, which is probably one of the proudest moments of my career. It really goes to show. With dedication and the right mindset, you can achieve anything.
Unreal. Cool. So like you did earlier, with that artist, you have follow you around to capture key moments in your life, like you mentioned. Can you share for our viewers around the world the drawing your guy did of you after you won the contest?
Sure, no problem. Ryan, give me a second here while I figure out how to share my screen. Darn technology, you know? If you can't beat it, join it. Okay, got it here. Should be uploading now. Can you see it on your screen?
Yep, got it here. Your artist really has an incredible eye, in my humble opinion. Okay, Mitch, now let's talk about the Shark Whisperer helmet. I've heard a lot of wild stories about this thing, but can you start by showing us the design?
Sure thing. Let me pull up the artist's rendering of the prototype. It's not exactly what I imagined it would look like, but it's close. You can really see the ambition in it, even if it didn't exactly pan out.
All right, now walk me through it. Whale songs, sharks. How is this supposed to work?
Look, I thought if we could calm sharks down with whale songs, they'd leave swimmers alone. The plan was simple. Strap on the helmet, jump in the water, and let the whale songs do the rest. I figured it was cutting-edge lifeguard tech. Was super passionate about it, to say the least. And I still feel it would be a game changer if developed correctly.
And how did it go?
Not great. The whale song audio kept cutting in and out. One minute the sharks were peaceful, the next they were circling me and trying to ravage my body, and for some reason they were only interested in my chest hair. Maybe they were trying to floss their teeth or something? I don't really know. Strange, huh? Anyway, just as I thought I could still pull it off, the helmet short-circuited and electrocuted my brain.
Wait, you got electrocuted?
Oh yeah. Full shock. 1037 volts to be exact. I woke up completely naked on the beach. Turns out, one of the sharks ripped my Speedo clean off during the chaos. I didn't even know what was going on. Apparently, I was walking up and down the beach for days in a demented state, yelling obscenities at strangers that spandex was the cause of the failure, when really I didn't want to admit that the device I invented had simply just failed.
And that's when you got arrested?
Yep. Indecent exposure. I tried to explain to the cops that a shark stole my Speedo, but let's just say they weren't buying it. The Coast Guard thought it was hilarious, though. They had a new nickname for me after that. They called me the Master Chest Hair Baiter.
So, how did you power charge the unit anyway?
Here, let me share a picture of it. It'll make a lot more sense when you see it. So I thought I was being smart by using a 9-volt with a solar panel type combo setup. It was supposed to be eco-friendly, you know. Low footprint, carbon neutral, flotation device at the same time. The whole thing. But, yeah, that part didn't exactly go according to plan either, obviously.
And I assume this helmet idea never made it past the prototype.
Nope. The Coast Guard actually bronzed it and put it in a display case of some sort for some stupid reason. Won't let me or my engineering team go near the thing. But hey, looking back on it all, I figured the shark who ate my Speedo probably crapped it out somewhere. So my fingers are crossed that it washes up on shore one day.
All right, well, I know you're a busy man, so I think that's all the time we have today. Thanks again for joining us, Mr. Hoff. Mitch.
No worries, Ryan. It was a blast. And hey, I absolutely love what you're doing with legendary throwbacks. You are highlighting the greatness of, in my opinion, the greatest generation to ever grace the planet.
Thanks, Mitch. I appreciate that. Hey, before you go, can you recite that poem you mentioned to me? You wrote about Wiener and screen share for our viewers, that pencil drawing you drew of him?
With pleasure, Ryan. Give me a sec. Okay. Is it on the screen?
Yep, got it.
Oh, faithful friend, with legs so short and true, that leap you took upon the wooden pier. My heart did race. My purpose came anew. For you, dear Wiener, cast aside my fear. Into the waves I dove, your life to save. Through salty spray, I reached you by sheer might. My soul ignited, bold and ever brave. In that deep plunge, I saw my future bright. No longer just a man upon the sand, but one who guards both sea and land with pride. You showed me courage none could understand, and taught me love that surges like the tide. So here I stand, your watchman by the shore. For you, dear Wiener, I'll guard evermore.